I've got a really fun and useful glitch for you guys on the map Citadelle for Black Ops 6 Zombies. And if you are a TikToker and you are stealing my videos and uploading them to your TikTok, I have retained an IP attorney and I am working with him and he will be taking down all videos. And know that that can threaten the deletion of your TikTok channel. Just like on YouTube, if you get 3 strikes, you're done. TikTok can also do that to you. And I've got an update on that one person I've been dealing with and talking to you guys about. I'll have that later on in the video. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys an after patch to duplicating the Lion Sword. And why would you want to do that? Well, the Lion Sword, in my opinion, is the best sword. This sword gives you the most protection. It gives you God mode. It's like having Frenzy God mode back. Whenever you get kills, it refills your shield. And you can literally stand in a corner and melee and go high rounds. With this glitch, you can duplicate it as many times as you want so your whole team can have the sword. But you could literally have like 100 of these on the map if you want, if it doesn't crash it. The method that got patched where we could duplicate the swords was with the mule kit glitch. You could load in a regular weapon in your melee slot, and when you went to go pick up a sword, it would just start duplicating swords all over the place. The steps for this are pretty wild. You're not going to expect these, but they are easy to do, and you can do this by yourself. Like if you were just trying to help your other teammates out and duplicate it for them, you can do all the steps alone. You are able to do this on directed mode, which makes it nice, and the first thing you do is go to round 10, get a stamp from the Buckethead Zombies, pick up the base Lion Sword, melee the 4 parasites, and melee the door 4 times, and get it accessible to go in. You don't need anything special going in here, but I would recommend a gun that has bullets. You're going to be shooting a lot of bullets at the sword pedestal. The first thing you want to do is place the sword in the pedestal, and then immediately start shooting the symbols that are coming out of the sword, and you can aim at the sword itself. I know in a previous video I was like, just shoot the sword. I don't know why that works. Well, the reason why it works is because you're actually shooting symbols that are coming out, and when you do that, it disables that 60-second timer that pops up on the left side of the screen, so now you can stay in here forever. Now what you want to continue to do is just keep blasting the sword and shooting the symbols that are coming out. You can see those multiple lines that are shooting out of the sword. What that's doing is it is duplicating the sets of symbols, and shout out to Ben Cole. He is the one that figured out how to duplicate these symbols, and that is how we're going to get duplicated swords. And shout out to one of my admins, BearishToday. He is the one that figured out, yeah, let's start shooting these multiple sets of symbols and see if we can get duplicated swords, and we absolutely can. So it's up to you how many swords you want to duplicate. I think we got up to like 9 or 10, but you can just stand here and blast this sword, and you can see the crazy graphics going everywhere, and there's lots of symbols that are starting to come out. I alternated between blasting the sword and then shooting wrong symbols that were flying around and resetting the pedestal over and over. Once you feel like you have enough symbols flying around, the next step is to just walk out the door. You don't need Casimirs or anything to get out, just walk up to the door and interact to leave. When you leave, you'll have the base Lion Sword in your hand again, and that's perfectly fine. You could leave with the upgraded sword by shooting one set of the flying symbols that's correct, but you don't have to. You'll still get one with a method I'm going to show you next. The next step that the game wants you to do is to shoot the 4 correct symbols, but you don't have to be in the lion room to shoot those symbols to get the sword. So what one of my other admins figured out, shout out to Trickz, aka Notorious D.O.G, was to jump out of the map, get a vantage point on the room with a sniper, and shoot the symbols from there. And every time you shoot a duplicate set, it creates a sword, so you could just sit there and make them over and over again. I'll show you guys the spot Trickz found, and this is using the Ether Shroud wall breach in the Undercroft, and this is the after patch. So on this side of the room, there is going to be a circular piece of debris, and you want to stand where it's on your left side and you're raised up a little bit. Then you want to place your crosshairs above the torch across the room. And you can see where I'm standing right there, that weird circular piece on the left side. And in just a moment, I am going to be looking up at the torch. And you look at that part of the wall right there, jump Ether Shroud. You should get it every time. With the recent patches, they put death barriers out here, and there's like 3 or 4 in the path that you're going to be going. So jump up on these stairs, crouch, walk up. There's going to be a death barrier at the top there, but I moved so fast past it, it didn't hit me. Now you're going to jump down and across, go across this room to the cave side, and you're going to be running on top of the cave tunnel. And there are a few death barriers up here, but you can jump and miss every one of them. Things that can help you survive this are definitely stim shots, but I was able to jump and avoid all of them. So I went down, landed, then jumped there, moved to your left, jumped again, and then right here I jumped again, and it allowed me to avoid all the death barriers. Then you're going to be met with a wall. You need to prone and carefully go around the left of it. Stay prone, crawl into this rock, then you can stand up and go prone again, and now you have a nice look at the lion tunnel room, and you can see all those duplicated symbols flying around. Now I'll show you the run where I hit all the death barriers on top of the cave slide. Right here, I'm on top of the cave slide. I'm going to hit all 3 death barriers on the way. So I'm going to drop down. You'll see the first one right there. Second one right there. Third one right there. I stim shot, but it didn't save me. Now, I was told that if you get into a mangler suit outside of the map and then run across the cave slide, you can survive the death barriers, like you're immune to it. But I did not try that method, but that could be one easy way to do that. The next step is to start shooting the symbols and making the swords and duplicating them, and anybody in the game can help shoot the symbols. It doesn't have to be the person that went into the room initially. You'll be shooting 4 symbols to create each sword, and it's always going to be the same symbols in the same order. And up at the top, you can see it's going to be the circle with the dot, then the snowflake, then the triangle, then what we're calling the steering wheel. One thing you need to know that's important is that yes, there are multiple sets of symbols flying around, but only one set is active at a time, and the other sets are not active. Once you correctly shoot the 4 active symbols, yeah, you're going to make a sword, and then the next set will become active. So you might be hunting for the circle dot for a moment to find the one that is active, but you're going to know you got it because it's going to fly into the pedestal. Right there, I shot the snowflake, it flew into the pedestal, and now I'm going to shoot the triangle, flew into the pedestal, I got the right one, and then right here I'm going to shoot the steering wheel. I got the white flash, meaning all 4 symbols were shot and completed. There is an upgraded sword in the pedestal, and after 60 seconds, it's going to teleport the player that initially went into the room back to the lion sword door and put the upgraded sword in their hand. And I was the one that was in there, so I'm the one that got teleported back into the map from being out of the map. And I had the base sword in my hand, and it put it back on to the statue. Now, I could go back out of the map and shoot more symbols, but Trickz is still out there, so he's just gonna continue to shoot symbols and make swords. After he shoots another correct 4 set of symbols, it's going to throw the lion sword that I have in my hand on the ground and actually put it back on the pedestal. And then it's going to put a brand new duplicated sword in my hand and then also teleport me to the front of the lion door. Now you'll be able to go back to the lion statue and see that, yeah, the one you were holding is now on the statue, and it will just keep stacking the ones you make on this statue right here, and you can just keep pulling them off. Again, we made like 9 or 10, and we could still keep making more, so we're not sure where this would have ended. So a quick update on the TikTok situation. There's this one guy that was acting like me with my picture and my name, and he's changed his picture and name but kept all my videos up, and I was like, yeah, that's not enough, you're going to need to take him down, and he hasn't done that yet. So I went ahead and had the meeting with the IP lawyer on Friday, and I'm glad I did. This guy's awesome. He helps to represent content creators and protect them from these situations when people are stealing others' videos. He said YouTube is typically really good about this. Like, they'll respond within 2 days, and copyright strikes are pretty serious and they take it very seriously. And he said TikTok takes this very seriously as well. In case you guys are curious about the process, this attorney is going to file claims on each and every video. There's like 13 or 14 videos that this guy has taken. So yeah, he's going to submit the claims representing me, saying I'm her attorney for Glitching Queen LLC. These multiple videos are obviously theft, and yeah, he thinks that it will expedite the process. Like, we might see these videos down in a few days rather than waiting longer. So we'll see what happens next week. Also, there's other channels that are taking my videos. Like, they took my recent one where we went to round 999. I've submitted that to my attorney as well. I'm going after that one. So I'll go after all that I find, and I know this may be a long process, but I just want to be someone that represents content creators and not letting people on TikTok get away with this. Like, when they see my videos, they know, well, yep, she's gonna absolutely go after that person with her attorney. And the TikTok accounts I'm going after also steal other YouTube glitchers' videos. So if I get those TikTok accounts taken down, it will protect those other YouTubers. I just want to make this very public that I'm not going to stand by and let people do this, and I will fight it as much as I need to and be known for the one that does.